Hi guys, and welcome to Escape Wheel Watch Reviews. My name is Steve, and today we're going to be reviewing this Sugess S450-2. So I purchased this watch with earnings from this channel. No matter how I get a watch in for a review though, whether I purchase it myself, whether it's gifted to me, you're always going to get my honest opinion every single time. And if by the end of this review you want to pick one of these up, I'll be leaving a link down in the video description. It will be an affiliate link. I'll actually leave two links down there. I'll explain that here in just a second. But if you do use those links, you don't pay any extra. It just earns a little bit of commission for the channel, helps keep getting in watches like these. So it's an easy way for you guys to help support the channel. The watch retails for about $225 US. I'm going to be leaving two links down below. So the first link is $225. That's all the colors. If you want these ceramic bezels, I found a different link on the same store for $186. So if you're going for the ceramic bezels, I don't see a reason to not go for the $186. It'll save you some cash. If you want the stainless steel bezel like I have here, you are going to have to pay a little bit extra for it. The watch comes in 3 different dial options, and then each one comes with your choice of a ceramic or steel bezel insert. The watch cases are made of 316L stainless steel, as are the bracelets. You have a sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating, a screw-down crown, a screw-down case back, 100 meters of claimed water resistance, BGW9 Lume on the dial and the hands, and the watch is powered by the Seiko NH35 automatic movement. So I've been on the lookout for a great Yacht-Master Homage for as long as I can remember. The Rolex is like number 4 on my grail list, I'd say. I'll likely never own one. There's other watches that I want over this one, and I just can't justify the price of it. So the fact that I can get one that looks like this and feels like this for $200 is kind of awesome. I've tried many in the past. This one succeeds where the others have tried and failed. So I say we get into the full review and see why this one is the one to get. But before we do, doing a quick wrist check today. Wearing the MD watches, or Martin Design Studio Supernatural. I just got the bracelet for it. So he is selling a bracelet for about $70. Really nice bracelet. Had some issues with the end links, but I think it looks fantastic. All right, so let's check out the dimensions. Got a bezel diameter of 40.2 millimeters. A case thickness of 12.3 millimeters. Got a standard 20 millimeter lug width. Lug tip to lug tip of 48.2 millimeters. End link to end link of 51.2 millimeters. And sized up on my 7.5 inch wrist with one link removed. It weighs 142 grams. So if you're looking at this Homage, you're going to get pretty much the same dimensions on every single one of them. Roughly 40 millimeters at the bezel, 12.3 millimeters thick, nice and thin for an NH35. Really happy with that. You do have some nice turn down to the lugs to it, so it does have the proper Yacht-Master style case. It's not a sub case like some of them use. The overall length, you know, even with the male end links, is still pretty darn good, and you can see, I mean, they just turn down pretty much right away. So I like the way that this watch wears. I like it a lot. It feels nice. It feels solid, and it's been super comfortable for me. So I'm going to go outside right now and throw it on my wrist for you. And here we are on my 7.5 inch wrist, and I mean, it wears great. It wears smaller, in my opinion, than a typical sub case, just because of the thinner lugs, polished case, all that stuff. You do have some nice hook down to those lugs, like I mentioned. Just hugs my wrist perfectly. Nice and slim profile as well. I mean, it feels very balanced on the wrist as well. Really happy with it. Lots of, you know, bling and shiny surfaces on this watch. It looks very premium. I'm going to say stick with the bracelet on this one, but I will go throw it on some straps here because that's just what I do. But I think the bracelet is so dang good that you're not going to want to take it off this thing. Well, let's go do it anyway. Yeah, here we are on a cut to size FKM. This is kind of an oyster flex style cut to size, but yeah, really happy with that. That's the Watch Types logo that I have on there. But yeah, just a really nice strap. Probably the only thing I would really wear this on consistently. There you can see nice strong sunburst dial, and the air coating just working wonderful. But yeah, this is a cool combination. Very light, very you know, water centric is what I'll say. It is a Yacht-Master Homage, so I'll take this out on my little paddle boat and yeah, enjoy it. Yeah, I figured I'd throw a little bit of color at this. There's some accent colors on the dial, so yeah, looks okay. Another cut to size FKM. I'll leave the link down below for all these straps. And here we are on an Archer strap. I'm not going to link this one down below because I think it's way overpriced for what it is, and now there's other options out there from Chinese watch manufacturers that sell the same watch and same buckle for like 15 bucks. So don't buy this one. It's not that nice, but I do think it looks pretty good on this watch. Still not my favorite. Still would go with the black rubber or the bracelet. And lastly, here we are on a Cincy Strapco SF2. So there's 2 layers underneath the watch there. Thin layers, but still sits very nice on wrist. Yeah, I wasn't sure what else to throw this on, but I think that actually looks pretty good. Better than I was expecting. Can highly recommend these straps. I will link them down below. All right, let's go back inside and let's get back to this review. All right, so let's talk about the case finishing on the watch. So it's a pretty simple case finishing. It is 100% polished, just like the Rolexes. It looks absolutely fantastic. I don't see any like waviness or anything like that. They did a very good job, and they are using, like I said, a proper Yachtmaster style case. So a sub case is very flat. This one has these little hooks to the lugs here. Really nice. It's a little bit thinner in the lugs as well, thinner in the crown guards. It all just looks and works very nicely. You can see here we do have a signed screw down crown, a good size on that too, tucked in nicely to those crown guards. There's no sharp edges on this at all. This bottom edge has been rounded off beautifully. Yeah, I mean, there's just not much to complain about when we're talking about the case finishing on the watch and the case in general. They just kind of nailed it on this one. Flipping it over to the case back here, we get to see my first nitpick, and that is this coin edge style of case back. Just because you're homaging a Rolex doesn't mean you need to put on this Rolex style case back. They're a pain in the butt. I don't like them, and I will never give a company a pass on them. You know, this is what we come to expect, but simple notches would be so much better. Simple sterile case back, vertical brushing there, a little polishing, a little circular brushing on the bottom of the lugs too. Like I said earlier, everything on the bottom of this case is nice and soft. There's no sharp edges, no burrs, no nothing. It just kind of feels like butter sliding over the wrist. So really, really happy with the case finishing on the watch, and they just kind of nailed the mid case on it. Sometimes you get these and they're way too thick. This one just looks really good. All right, so let's talk about the bezel on the watch. So first off, the bezel inserts, like I said earlier, you have 2 options. You have this stainless steel one, which is, silver, and then they have a black ceramic one as well. So they're both kind of set up the same way, where you have, they call them a relief bezel. So the main portion of the bezel is down, and then the numbers and the markings there are raised up a little bit and polished. So, it's typical with this style of watch. This one looks really good, better than some of the other ones I've had in the past for sure. Really nice and clean, very nice polishing, very nice bead blasting in the back. I think it looks excellent. They executed this one very nicely. The bezel itself, again, typical with this style. You got the scalloping there. You do have a brushed edge on it and then a polished top there. The interesting thing about this bezel is that it is a bi-directional 36 click bezel. I'm not sure why they went 36 clicks, but that's what they did. Obviously, like a 60 click would have been a lot better, but 36 clicks. The bezel itself is super solid. You got plenty of grip on it, though. The resistance is pretty high, I'd say, but still easy enough to turn. But yeah, 36 clicks, and the clicks are in typical bi-directional fashion. They're very quiet and muted. You can't really hear them all that well. But yeah, it's an interesting bezel choice. I'm not sure why they did 36, but they did 36, and yeah, it's just kind of weird, and you just kind of get into these points where if you are timing something, it doesn't quite line up perfectly. As you can see right there, it's too low, and there it's too high. So again, I'm not sure why they did it that way, but that's what they did, and that's one of the negatives of this watch, in my opinion. The alignment, however, is spot on. All right, so let's test the crystal for sapphire. The crystal is sapphire. The Cyclops is also sapphire. So that's nice to see. We have a flat sapphire crystal with blue anti-reflective coating. Same with the Cyclops here, blue anti-reflective coating on it, or maybe that's just from the dial. I don't know. Either way, Cyclops is magnifying very nicely. It's that 2.5 times we like to see. It's not overly big or anything like that, and it's plenty legible. Yeah, I like the crystal on it a lot. Here you can see it sits pretty much flush with the bezel. Yeah, it is very, very nicely done, though. I've got no issues with it. Flat crystals, I don't think need anti-reflective coating. Rolex doesn't put it on theirs, so why should anyone else need to put it on theirs? But this one is yeah, really a nice crystal. I'm very happy with it. All right, so let's talk about the dial on the watch. So this one is a beautiful blue sunburst dial with red accents. It looks fantastic. The other dials, they also look very, very nice. It is a glossy dial. You can see the reflection of the second hand sweeping around there, but really just a nice, high quality looking dial. You can see the exposed rehaut there. We do have the Sugess branding etched in, or laser etched in that. Again, it looks really nice as well. Hoping you can... It's hard to see, but there is like little dots in between each Sugess word, and it does line up pretty much spot on with the 12 o'clock index there. So really happy with that. The rehaut on it, nice and shallow Sugess. They continue to impress with their rehaut depth on the NH35. Usually they have these super deep dish rehouts. This one is nice and thin, and it just kind of elevates the watch and gives it a more premium feeling. The applied indices, typical layout here, but they just, again, they look very nice and high quality. They're filled to the brim with BGW9 Lume. We'll talk about the Lume here in just a moment. We got our Sugess branding automatic there at the 12 o'clock. I'm still not a fan of that Sugess text. I wish they would change that. And then you have 100 meters down here in red, and then Ocean Star Limited. The handset that they use on this is your typical Mercedes style handset. A little bit of a facet there, fully polished. They look good. I think they're a good size and good proportions. The second hand here, it's a red seconds hand on this model. Looks, again, very nice, reaching right out to the minute track there. Yeah, I mean, it all just, the proportions on the dial are just spot on. They nailed it. Yeah, it looks really good. So let's talk about the Lume here. So the Lume is BGW9. I'm going to pop it up against a couple other watches in the collection. And this is where Sugess usually struggles on these watches. And this is kind of the same situation. It's a decent amount of Lume, but the application is kind of weak on the dial, and it ends up fading faster than I think it should. So yeah, it's definitely not the most premium application of Lume. And that's just a little bit disappointing. You do get kind of some daytime glow here and there, but it just starts to fade pretty quickly. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. It gives hints of being really good, but just kind of puddles out a little bit. I still can read it in the middle of the night, so it's not that bad, but definitely could be better. All right, so let's talk about the movement powering the watch. So inside we have the Seiko NH35 automatic movement. If you kind of paid attention to the Sugess releases, they did release this one late last year in 2024 with the ST2130. And then they reissued it with the NH35. I'm not sure why they did that. I don't see any other changes to it. I don't think it was any thinner either. So yeah, I'm kind of happy that they went with this one just because the NH35 is a very robust and accurate enough movement. They're cheap, they're reliable, and they're going to last forever. 21,600 beats per hour, 42 hours of power reserve. They hack, they hand wind, they do everything you need them to do, and they're super easy to service or swap out if you need to in the future. So the fact that they're able to keep it thin and keep the rehaut manageable, I'm okay with them sticking an NH35 in here. So yeah, I do like the movement. Here's how this one has been running. It's running a little bit faster than I would like, but you can see it is a nice strong beat error there. So yeah, I have no issues with it, especially in a collection. It's fine for me. But the movement is operated by this 3 o'clock screw down crown. Got the S logo there. The screw in and screw out action. Got a little tiny bit of grit to it, but not bad. It does give a nice satisfying pop out there. You do have a gasket there and aiding in the 100 meters of water resistance. The first position is your hand winding. Feels exactly like an NH35. Second position is your date. And then the third position hacks the movement. This is where you set your time. Functions exactly like you would expect it to. There is the hand alignment, just bang on. Yeah, no issues with the movement. Everything functions as it should. The crown feels nice and solid too. There's very minimal wobble in it. You push it in, it starts up the movement every time. And then the crown threading, again, nice and smooth. So very happy with the crown, very happy with the movement. I've got really no complaints other than it running just a touch fast. All right, so let's talk about the bracelet on the watch. So we do have a 3-link oyster style bracelet, just like you would expect on a watch like this. Brushing on the outer links is nice and fine and crisp and consistent. It looks great. polishing on the middle links, even getting up real close, just silky smooth. Sometimes on these watches, when you see these polished links, you can kind of see some ripples and stuff in that polishing area. Not here. It looks fantastic. Really nice, high quality polishing there. You have 3 solid links, solid end links. You have screws for adjusting the size. Nice and easy. I removed 1 link, I believe, for my 7.5 inch wrist. Yeah, I mean, it's just this is one of the best oyster style or 3-link style bracelets I've handled in a very long time. The fluidity is good. It doesn't pinch hairs or anything like that. The end links, nice and tight and solid in there. There's no big gaps or anything between the lugs. They follow the case curvature nicely. You can see they kind of stop short of the lug tips there, so it keeps the end links about as short as they can possibly go. Nice quality spring bars in there too. That's kind of important on a watch like this. But yeah, there's just not much to complain about with this style of bracelet. If you're okay with the solid or the center polished links, I know some people are going to fuss on that, but that's what the original has, so that's why they're following that design. The articulation of the links, they feel just like very, I don't even know how to explain it, almost like silky or oily. I mean, just super slick feeling. And that's what you get from a luxury watch. And this is the same kind of feeling I'm getting with this bracelet. So it is an excellent 3-link style bracelet. The clasp on it here, you can see it is signed with the Sugess S, kind of a generic S logo there, but that is what they're going with, Rolex style. So you have your flip over there, and then you open it up here. It is fully milled on the inside like you would expect, Sugess branded, fully polished, nice tight tolerances everywhere. It opens and closes just fine. I've got no issues with it at all. Sometimes these clasps can be a little bit sharp. This bottom edge here is usually the sticking point, these corners here. Those ones are a little sharp. These bottom ones here that come in contact with your wrist, those aren't sharp at all. But yeah, I think this is one of the better Rolex style of clasps that I've had. So you do have just normal quick adjust on the inside. So you got this easy link, about 6mm easy link extension there. And when you open that up, you can get a spring bar in there and adjust in these little holes and indents that you see. I don't like that fact, but again, this is kind of what you expect in a watch like this. The easy link extension, it's stiff, but it works great. Gives you that little bit of relief on hot and sweaty days. So yeah, I am really impressed with the bracelet on this watch. It feels like a very high quality bracelet. So there you go, guys. That is the Sugess S450-2. If you are in the market or looking for a Yacht-Master Homage, there's a few of them out there. I would say this one and the Chronos are really the only ones that I could suggest. Some of the other ones that I've reviewed in the past, those just use Submariner style cases with this style of bezel insert and maybe a colored second hand. So that doesn't really give me the Yacht-Master feel. The Chronos is very similar to this one. It uses a PT5000, I believe. I think it's a little bit thinner, but something just looks off about it. This one here, I can't complain at all. I mean, it just looks fantastic. It feels fantastic. The bezel insert looks great. The only real complaint I have with it is the bezel action. I mean, it's a very solid bezel action, but 36 clicks, kind of a head scratcher for me. Other than that, though, if you can get past that and you love the look of a Yacht-Master like I do, this is 100% the way to go. I don't think it's outrageously priced either. You're getting a lot of watch for the money here. I've been really enjoying it for the last couple of weeks, wearing it a lot more than I thought I would. I love the bling on it. So yeah, if you guys like the style, I think this is the one to go for. I've been loving it, so you will too. I think that's it for me. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.